This is the Triple Dare, a 3-part video series designed to help you, the parent, really effectively communicate with your child in this like over-sexualized, pornified, messed up world that we live in. My name is Lori Dorneman, and I have been married to my husband Russ for almost 30 years, and I love my life. We have 8 kids, and we live in the Wichita Diocese.
My name is Eric. I'm her oldest kid. I'm 24 years old, and I have a degree in mechanical engineering. We commend you, parent, for being here, the proactive parent that you are. We want the Triple Dare to reach every parent with a child under the age of 14. Even more so, every parent with a child under the age of 10. In this Triple Dare, we're going to really explore this massive void in our culture. What void? Pornography. It's seeping into every child's young life, and really no one's aware of it, much less talking about it. We are in desperate need of a parenting culture shift.
And that is why we're here. That is why we've taken our time to create this Triple Dare for you. So in the first dare, the first video here, what we're gonna do is really just showcase the problem, what's happening, and wake you up.
In the second dare, we're gonna go over how to protect your fortress, and really one massive mistake that really every parent makes regarding electronics and their children, and how you can avoid it. In the final dare, we go into the specifics of talking with your child, and the one mistake that most Christian parents tend to make. It's super important to learn how to talk so that your child will listen.
So we need to shift our parenting. I mean, our culture has shifted, so we gotta shift our parenting.
With it.
And the hard, cold fact is that kids are being exposed to pornography at younger and younger ages, and we are good parents. We're great parents. We can do better than that, and we can protect our kids, and I believe that we can do that. Now, how do I know so much about this? Why am I, invested here? Well, it's because I failed this one right here. As I began my parenting journey, I had some beliefs, and I thought that teaching my child about, Christianity, all that kind of stuff was great, and that was enough. And, as far as Eric's emerging sexuality, I didn't really parent that realm very effectively.
Or at all. So I love my parents. They're awesome. They're great. They taught me everything I need to know about Jesus and my spirituality, but totally neglected my sexuality. And growing up, I had questions. I knew I could not go to my parents to ask. So I asked Google. And not only did I find what I was looking for, I found so much more. And as I kept looking, kept searching and deeper into this pit, the only thing I was really sure of is that I liked it. And I would never, ever tell anyone about it. I successfully hid my porn use for about 6 years before my parents found out. And once they did, someone actually helped me get out of the pit. Yeah, a mother helped her son with porn. Are you kidding me?
The truth of the matter is, though, it was a really bad time of my life. It was hard. It was a long road. I didn't want to be there, but I knew that I had to help my child. So I began to research and learn and become a more effective parent in this world. And there's some resources out there, but a lot of them are kind of flowery and sunshine and roses, and that's not where my kid was. I mean, it was masturbating. I had to figure out how to help him, get out and extract himself from the trenches where he was. And so, as I implemented these changes in my home, the 4 oldest kids just were like, "Mom, this is amazing. You need to teach my friend's parents about this, because they need this." And that's kind of where I just stepped back, and I was like, I don't know that I want anyone to know that this has affected our family. And as I looked at that was just really my pride, because I had a desire to be perceived as perfect. Like, I want you to look at the Dornemans and go, oh, they're a wonderful family. They have this, all this great stuff going on. I didn't want you to know that my kids were addicted to porn and that it has affected us, our whole family. But that desire for perfection, that is actually what allows pornography to thrive in our culture. So I'm just telling you straight up, I'm calling on that. We are not going to allow, I just said,
You did.
I call BS on that, because we don't want pride to get in the way of the protection of our children. My end goal is to keep my kids safe and to keep your kids safe. So that's why I'm doing this. That's like, I am mission driven for that.
I know the helplessness of addiction and the despair. It ran my life for years. But once I got out, the real me came out. I love my freedom. I love the relationships I have with my parents and with everyone that I encounter, because they get the real me. Mm-hmm. And what irks me about porn is that my generation, everyone that I know has at one point either seen it or is addicted to pornography. So like my mom, I'm all in. I want to fight this. I want the next generation of children to not have to deal with this.
So here what we're saying, like, porn is this massive cancer. It's coming in, infiltrating into the hearts and minds of our children, and no one's talking about it. No one's aware of it. And there are like no large initiatives to stop it.
So we want to like shine this big light into the darkness. And we want to start a movement of people that are aware of this problem, but also willing to do something about it. So kudos to you, parent. We're so excited for you to be here. Let's go over a characteristic that you already have that's going to help you kill it.
All right. When you give birth or adopt, there's this protective instinct that just emerges, within you. And I didn't really even understand I had that until I gave birth to my child here, Eric. And I didn't give birth to a baby. I gave birth to a 4-month-old because he was like 23 inches long at birth and 10.5 pounds. But anyway, so I was, holding my baby and cuddling and loving on him. And at that point, we were living in St. Louis. It was the year of 1993, and there was a huge flood that had happened in that city. And there was a lot of destruction, a lot of damage, and a lot of deaths. And there was, some Boy Scouts that had gotten caught in a cave with their leaders, and they died. So here I was holding my newborn, just like, I will do whatever it takes to protect you. And that's the feeling I had. And it was kind of a brand new feeling. I hadn't had that protective instinct in such a way, like kind of raging through my veins. Now, I know that you, as a parent, you have that same instinct. And so our goal here in the Triple Dare is to shine a light what's really challenging or going to be challenging your young child. And we want to really engage that protective instinct that you already possess so you can do whatever it takes to protect your child.
Pornography is a big industry, and it's run by men and women who want lifetime consumers of their product. And they do this by infiltrating into children's electronics when they're young and naive, and without their parents even knowing about it. Pornography is no longer found in a stack of magazines under a bed. It is everywhere, especially with smartphones and iPads being handed to everyone. So in this first dare, we want to pull back the curtain and look at a couple statistics. The average age of first exposure to hardcore porn nowadays is age 8. And by the time kids are 12, 90% of them have been exposed to it.
No matter when or what age we are, I believe porn is always wrong. However, I have my youngest child just turned 9, and he's so innocent and young, and there's just no way that his young brain can really process or is equipped to handle that perverse input, and it just makes me sad.
So let's look at why pornography is attractive. And we know this is an uncomfortable topic, so we're here to make this as painless as possible. So to understand the porn epidemic in our culture, we'll take a look at the food epidemic, because there's actually a lot of parallels. Sex and food are the two big drivers of dopamine, this pleasure happiness hormone related to the aspects of survival. So when we eat food, our brain lights up with dopamine. The goal is to survive.
However, our food has absolutely changed dramatically in the last 100 years. The food producers have engineered our food because they want to make a profit, and they've actually engineered our food to become very overstimulating, and we now have this fake food and we crave it. We really, really want all these different, pies and cookies and that kind of thing. And if you look at the reverse, the flip side of that, if you think about an organic chicken breast just with a couple spices on it and some green beans, that can actually be perceived as very boring to our overstimulated palates.
So how does this relate to porn? Just as fake food overstimulates, so does fake sex. So let's look back. God made sex to be rewarding. It is normal and natural. When two people are in love, their brain should flood with this dopamine. The ultimate and original goal is our species is to stay alive. So this porn is created, and the issue is that it's this new type of sex, and the creators just want to make a profit. And it's so overstimulating and can totally be addictive.
So porn, I just want you to hear us, that it takes something normal and natural, that God has created, and twists it, and it becomes something totally different. It's takes that normal and makes it overstimulating. And is it attractive to the brain, especially a developing brain, and they'll want to view it more. That's just a normal, natural process to an abnormal stimulus.
So over time, in a relationship, these men and women kind of get bored. Very similar to that plate of organic chicken. They want this overstimulation that they're used to.
So fake food and fake sex, it just makes us slaves to our passions. Now, there are many, many cool, phenomenal people shining a light into this, problem of food addiction. One of my favorites is Dr. Susan Pierce Thompson, and she's a neuroscientist, and she has said that 1/100% of people who have lost their weight actually keep it off. And the reason why is because the addictiveness of food keeps us going back to those things that got us, and kind of in trouble in the first place. And so she's doing her work, trying to get people to really maintain their weight loss. And so I commend her. But when I look at all that, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, so really the best food addiction is one that never starts. And so I have no problem teaching my kids about fake food and really dissecting what if you look at a package of Doritos, it's not really food. And we have watched documentaries about what's in a hot dog? I kind of want my kids grossed out so they won't be tempted or want to eat that, highly processed, addictive food.
In the same way, the best porn addiction is one that never starts because of a proactive parent who teaches authentic love and what it means to be in a real relationship, what's normal and healthy, and clearly states what pornography is, why it's harmful, and dissects it, kind of like that hot dog video, so that their kids can be grossed out and stay away from it.
Okay, I have this bold statement, I'm going to use here at the end of this first dare. I believe that pornography is affecting every single family.
I second that.
And I myself am going to do what I can to protect my family from this. Satan, if you want to come into this home, you got to get through me first. And I have become this really strong parent in this area. Now, you might be going, okay, Lori, I'm now wide awake. You've awakened me, and I agree with you. I want to guide my children through this and protect them. Yay! So you're going to have to be really on purpose, intentional with your communication, and we're going to go over that specifically in the third dare.
But first, we want to talk to you about the massive mistake that every parent makes and how you, amazing, brilliant parent that you are, can avoid it. We'll see you in the second dare. Protect your fortress. No.